Welcome back. If you had to pick a megastar, a box office smash hit, would you choose William Shakespeare? Well, one Kiwi has done just that. Miles Gregory has gambled his life savings on a bet. He's built a full-size replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre right in the heart of Auckland. The plan? To create a live spectacular of Shakespeare's finest works. Will he pull it off? Well, Ian Sinclair's been to the pop-up Globe.
Rising like a phoenix from the asphalt is the biggest show in town.
I think people are excited to see a window into the past, to experience something they couldn't experience anywhere else.
Miles Gregory is taking his biggest gamble.
I've made a significant personal investment. We've staked the house on it. That's because it's unmissable, it's magic.
All to stage the world's most unique William Shakespeare experience right here in New Zealand.
When you get the ingredients right, you see why he is the greatest playwright the world's ever known. This is a full-scale replica of the Second Globe Theatre, and Shakespeare would have instantly recognised it.
A copy of Shakespeare's own playhouse, the world's first pop-up Globe Theatre. There's a touch of Kiwi in this Auckland design. Miles's brainwave build the framework with scaffolding.
Well, this construction in the middle here is the stage, and around us, the galleries.
Galleries 3 stories high, just like the real thing.
So how many people will this hold?
Well, the theatre holds around 900 people. Some standing here in the yard and others up there in the galleries. Well, there's 3 galleries.
And Miles should know. This Kiwi is a former director for Shakespeare's Globe, London.
And here we are in one of the Lord's rooms.
Lord's room?
That's right, yeah. So in Shakespeare's theatre, the galleries behind the stage were used by the lords and musicians. And so the aristocracy would sit up here with the whole theatre watching them. So you can show off your clothes, you can smoke a pipe and stage yourself to your admiring crowd.
But do we have an aristocracy in Auckland?
Well, we'll find out, I guess. We know that a lot of Lord's rooms have been sold, so clearly some people fancy themselves in that position.
But Miles knows he has to deliver a show that lives up to the building. With 8 different plays over 10 weeks, it's a challenge. And actor Daniel Watterson faces one of the biggest hurdles.
I'm playing Olivia in Twelfth Night.
A man playing a woman in Shakespeare? Why?
Well, at that time in Shakespeare's day, men played as women because it was considered immoral for women to perform on the stage. So all the roles written for women were performed by men or boys.
Yes, it was a man's world. And Shakespeare loved his violence. Enter Alex Holloway, a man with an unusual job description.
I went to a drama school down in England. We do a degree in acting and stage combat.
So you got a degree in fighting?
Yes, yep. Here, engage the hips, round, up.
In Shakespeare's day, the demand for violent entertainment was huge.
We were competing with people being hung, drawn and quartered and killed for the public to watch. So people would go and see that or go and see a play. Now the plays theoretically would have to be more interesting and more exciting than going to see someone being killed. Do you want to go?
Me have a go?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd trust me with one of those things, actually.
So put your left foot forward. Nice. And go.
Right.
Ready? Nice.
Apparently a handy skill in Shakespeare's world.
The time that Shakespeare lived in was a time when water supplies weren't safe to drink, so small beer is drunk. Small beer is anything between 0.5% to 3%. You're drinking that for breakfast and throughout the day. It's also a time when gentlemen wore swords. You combine all those things together, sort of drunk people wearing swords, hanging out in pubs a lot. What you get is quite a dangerous place to be come the end of the day.
You might think New Zealand couldn't be further from Shakespeare's world, and you'd be wrong. Deep in the Auckland Public Library is a treasure that takes Miles right back to the source.
Well, this might be one of the most important books in English literature.
It's a first edition of Shakespeare's own plays, 400 years old.
Published 7 years after Shakespeare's death, and it is one of the most important books in the Western world.
This masterpiece, nestled amongst the library's collection of medieval manuscripts, is a gift of Sir George Grey, 19th century governor.
So what's it worth?
Well, $10 million US plus?
$10 million.
Well, it would at auction, yeah. So 400 years old. His words are embedded in our language. We still speak today using hundreds of words that Shakespeare himself invented. Many of them we use every day. I mean,
Such as?
Fashionable, addiction, dauntless.
But how much Shakespeare do we really know? Down at the construction site, we put it to the test.
Do you know any Shakespeare?
Little bits and pieces of Macbeth.
I know one line, maybe.
To be or not to be, that's the question I ask.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
But there's no time here for idle reflection. The race is on to finish the exterior. In corrugated iron, of course.
It's a wonderful cladding. It has that unique sort of Kiwi can-do attitude about it.
Finally, the opening night is here, and it looks like Miles' huge gamble is paying off. Already, they've sold 50,000 tickets for the season.
Yes, it's a lot of tickets. Probably more than has ever been sold in this country for Shakespeare.
Backstage, Daniel is making his transformation.
So this is Olivia.
This is Olivia.
Where does a man learn to be a woman?
By watching other women, by watching other actors portray women, by finding the woman within oneself.
In the theatre, up in the Lord's rooms, Auckland's lords and ladies are on display. At $800 a box.
'Tis not so sweet now as it was before.
The commoners, of course, that's the rest of us, are below.
All of those 900-odd people are within 15 metres of the stage.
My lady, he will come to her in yellow stockings, and 'tis a colour she abhors.
So there's an incredible shared intimacy. So it's a bit more like being at a party or a football match rather than a Shakespeare play where you sit in the dark and they do their thing over there.
Why are you still here?
With a reception like this in Auckland, it begs a question.
Well, if Auckland, why not Boston? Why not New York? Why not Los Angeles?
Well, it's been an incredible journey. I'm delighted by the demand because people said, oh, New Zealand, I'm not sure people are going to come. We built it and they are coming. Could it be the beginning of a beautiful adventure? Well, I hope it is.